Welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining me. This is a good video. You couldn't have found a better one because I have a special treat for you. Look, I found another prophetic sign by the grace and by the goodness and power of Almighty Yahweh. Another prophetic sign. And this time it has to do with the dates of the American Civil War that ultimately freed the black slaves, the African slaves. But this is what is interesting. The sign that I'm about to show you also points to 1619, the beginning of slavery, and it points to 2024 for the total solar eclipse. It the same dates that I keep finding, 1619 to 2024. Once again, let's get into it. Please stay to the end because this is proof Almighty Yahweh is giving us signs. The signs have been there, but now is the time of revealing. And it's a time when Yahweh's showing us things, very prophetic times, especially the children of God, the Israelites, who are the African Americans, the descendants of the transatlantic slave trade, the Bantus and the West Africans. We're all related. We are the true Israelites of the Bible. We're the true children of God. And this is why we're getting these signs. Let's get into it. Um, Now, I started noticing this before the eclipse, but it wasn't till after the April 8th total solar eclipse that something started happening and my mind started opening up. And I prayed to Almighty God Yahweh to show me signs and help me to understand. I prayed to Yahweh to show me things so that I could show you, so that I could prove to people of the existence of the Almighty God Yahweh and that He's right now in control and that He's guiding things right now for His own purposes. Okay? So, the first thing is, okay, so many important prophetic events tend to occur on or be associated with the number 12. I've been noticing that for a while now. And it's a number of divine order, such so like there's 12 tribes of Israel, okay? And so if you take the April 8th, just stick with me because there's a reason I'm showing this. The April 8th total solar eclipse, 4/8/2024, 4 plus 8 is 12. If you take the 20 from the 2024, 20 minus 8 is 12. If you take 2 and divide it into 24, you get 12 again. 12, 12, 12. Divine order, okay? This is no coincidence. These numbers are codes that Almighty Yahweh is using okay. Okay. For April the 12th of 1861 was the start of the American Civil War, okay? Now, when we look at this, the start date of the American Civil War, okay, and so it equals to 1619. I was shocked when I found this. And then so it's just going across easy, just like every time and every other sign that I've been seeing, the signs that I've been showing you. This you don't have to do anything special. You go across it's from one side to the other, and you get these numbers. You get these prophetic formulas that equal to the numbers that like 1619. Okay, so if you it's 4 12 1861. If you take 4 plus 12, you get 16. You see? And so if you take the the one add one, I'm sorry, you drop this one and the two, add them here. 1 plus 2 plus 1 plus 8 plus 6 plus 1. You get 19 because the 1 plus 2 equals 3, 1 plus 8 equals 9, and 6 plus 1 equals 7. 3 times 9 equals 12, and 12 plus 7 equals 19. 1619. This shows you 1619. So that shows you right there. Some people say, well, the Civil War wasn't fought to free slaves. Well, it wasn't. That wasn't the main reason, but it was Almighty Yahweh's reason for it to happen. He wanted that to happen because why would he leave the code for 1619 in there? He can use anything to accomplish. In other words, we must not use human limitations to try to limit Almighty God Yahweh. He can do anything. He can use anybody who he wants to. He can use any situation to carry out his purposes, and especially with his children, the children of God. Okay, so let's go to the next one. 1619 was the start date of the American Civil War. Okay, so we see that again. The official beginning of slavery, 1619. So we got a 1619, and guess what? In some of the other signs, the prophetic signs, I've been finding 1619. God's trying to tell us something, that whatever this end times prophetic event has to do with the enslavement and oppression of the African American slaves. Something has happened. Let's go into this, and I'll tell you why I say that. The end date of the American Civil War is 4/9 or April the 9th of 1865. It is very interesting that this is in April that the Civil War ends, and it was April when the Civil War started. That's very interesting. But anyway, it ended on April the 9th, 1865. So the end date of the American Civil War also gives you April the 8th, 2024, the same date as the April 8th, 2024 total solar eclipse that made an X over America. As clear as day. Just going straight across, just like the other signs, doing nothing special, not adding or taking away, just doing what's here. Look at this. 4/9/1865, the end date of the American Civil War. Drop the 4, you get 4. You take the 9 here and subtract the 1. That gives you 8. And if you take the 1 here, 1 plus 8 plus 6 plus 5, and then you take the 4 right here and move it over, all right, and add it to the end of 1865, you get 24. With those numbers, once again, you get 4/8/24. Folks, this is not a coincidence. This is the power of Almighty God Yahweh telling us these signs have been there. But now his spirit is going across to his Israelites. We're able to do like we all have different things that we're able to do and understand. But like he answered my prayers and I'm able to see these things. I ask him for signs and he showed them to me. Praise Yahweh. Praise Yahweh. Now, so let's look at something else again. So we have a 1619, and we have sign that connects to the April 8th. I'm sorry, the April, yes, 8th total solar eclipse of 2024. Then there's something else that's really, actually, this is the first sign that I saw that really um, stood out to me. This is the first thing I saw. And so the end date of the American Civil War, 4/9/1865, right? So just going straight across now, once again, if you add 4 plus 9, you get 13. And if you come to the 1865, you add 1 plus 8 plus 6 plus 5, and That gives you 20. Okay? So when you look, wait a minute. Okay, double checking. Yeah, I was double checking. So anyway, you get 20 minus 13 equals 7. So what does that mean? 7 it means completion from the time of the beginning of the Civil War, which was April the 12th of 1861, to the end of it, April the 9th, 1865. Something was completed. There was some type of completion. 7. And so since we get such a strong sign for 1619, this points to the completion, the official completion of slavery, chattel slavery, as it were, even though it continued on. And I have even heard that there's some African Americans that were even enslaved in the 80s and 90s, that people never let them go. There's many things that have happened that are not on mainstream news. That has happened. People have still been enslaved after slavery. But for the vast majority of African American slaves were freed to a considerable degree. And there's another conversation. So 7 is the biblical number of completion. Okay? The earth was created in 7 days. I mean, 6 days, and on the seventh day, Yahweh rested. So, but anyway, this could also be pointing, the 7 that we got could also be pointing to the completion or whatever was completed in from 1619 to 2024. And that could also be pointing to completion there. It could it be the 400 years prophecy that has been completed during that time? Now, so once again, I want to show you something. But before I do, we got from the dates of the American Civil War, we got once again 1619. We got 4/8/24, the date of the 2024 total solar eclipse, and we got a number 7, which means completion. Something has been completed with these dates. Something big, something major. Why would all these signs be pointing to these dates, 1619 and 2024? I'll tell you why. Because African Americans are the children of God, and judgment is coming for the way we've been treated, enslaved and oppressed. Let me show you something. So if you look here, hopefully you can see this good. So we were here 1619 to 2019 is 400 years. Now, if you multiply 400 times 365, you get 146,000 days. You see that underneath? Now, okay, but if you take the 146,000 days that you get from multiplying 400 times regular 365 day years and divide it with by 360, 360 are biblical prophetic years. If you divide those, you get 405.55. 405. Okay, if you look here, 1619 plus 405 biblical prophetic years equals 2024. The same day of time as the April 8, 2024 total solar eclipse, and the X that it made over America stands for 400. The 400 years that we spend in slavery and oppression, that works out. The math, you can't deny the math. Now, in this book, The Hebrew Heritage of Black Africa, written by Stephen S. Jacobs, says on the back page, it says, this documentary proves conclusively that most people of African descent living in America and other parts of the Western Hemisphere as a result of the slave trade are offspring of the ancient Israelites. These prophetic signs are for us. Praise Yahweh.